How to maintain EAT if you do not have expertise in that niche. Well, an easy way you could do is hire a writer that does. So yeah, you can hire someone that actually, writes about this stuff on other people's websites or whatever, and you can just get them to write about it. However, I don't think it's really important to have, expertise in the niche. I think, you can demonstrate expertise by writing articles on this stuff. So, just have the, basically have an author. Maybe that's you, maybe that's someone else. I've even heard of people using fake authors. But what you want to do with this author is kind of establish that they like to talk about this thing, and then do that. Go write articles about that thing. Put that kind of information on their social profiles or whatever. Make sure it's on their social profiles, and just essentially pretend like if this author, well, you don't have to pretend. An
Fake it till you
author.
make it, baby.
You can fake it till you make it, or you can just say, you need to mimic like what it would look like in real life, which is this person writes about all of these things, and so yeah, they're just going to write about all these articles. They're going to show Google that, hey, I write about this stuff. When you're writing the articles, use show your expertise in the article. Show what kind of experience you have. Add your kind of your spin on things into the article, and also do things like citing your sources and whatnot. Cite like with outbound authority links. Citing your sources is also good to do. Am I missing anything on this, Nick? Or am I like underthinking it?
No, I don't think so. One of the things I'm gonna say is that I feel like people, especially initially, if they're newer, consider EEAT to be like this. They get real anxious about things like, oh, Google's gonna know, like they want to see a doctor for the majority of these articles, etc. You know, it's just the way an algorithm is reading something. So when we think about EEAT, you want to hit all your best practices, privacy policies, terms of service, address, phone number, NAP, all that stuff. And then when we think about who is an expert in a certain subject matter, don't think about it like, let's say it's a blog about health and you think you need to be a doctor in order to be an authoritative figure according to Google. That's not necessarily true. What Google's going to go do is, like, they might crawl an author page, and then this author page is Dan the health guru or something like that, and then it's going to crawl out to those socials, see where they've done other stuff, or like how long those accounts have existed for, etc. So without thinking, or I guess what I would say is, think in terms of basically like an SEO kind of hacker, right? Like, you're looking to just gain position with what the algorithm is doing. You don't want to think like real world terms where you're like, oh gosh, how am I supposed to go up in this niche if I'm not a PhD or something like that. Those aren't things that I don't think Google is crawling and digesting. Now, mind you, I mean, like, they are, as far as what they can link to from their social profiles, etc. But yeah, I don't necessarily think that's the end all for what's going to pop up in the top SERPs.
Yeah, and as far as expertise goes, anyone can become like experts on things, unless you're like in this like something like super technical or like so it can depend on like what niche you're in. So for example, if you're in like some like medical stuff, you might want to get your article, you might want to go to like wherever and get someone to say, it's been, we had a medical reviewer review the article to check the information or whatever. You can pay for these kind of things. But let's say, for example, you're writing an article on like dogs or whatever. Well, guess what? You just went out and bought a dog yesterday. You're an expert now. And you've done a bunch of reading or whatever, and now you can put up all this good information on the internet. You're a dog expert.
Yeah.
And anyone can educate themselves on anything. And even for like, more like YMYL stuff, people can have different opinions on stuff. They can have they can do their own research. They can have a good amount of expertise on things. Well, let's say they were a cancer patient, for example, instead of a cancer doctor. Well, guess what? They have a good amount of expertise on this subject because they actually went through this stuff, right? They don't have a degree on it, but You know, they bring a viewpoint to the table, and they can definitely help people with what they've learned throughout the process. So all in all, I think just the thing to drive home here is just pretend like, you know, you're an expert on the thing, write articles on the thing, you know, cite your sources, appear as an actual human being. I think one of the big things is just having like a human kind of like tied to the blog in some way. So Google says, oh, there's actually a person behind this, not just some like faceless, just nothing. And yeah, you should probably pretty much be fine, unless you're in some like super YMYL stuff. Then you might have to go some extra steps. But what you can do is you can look at what the other blogs are doing and do that. Like, are they getting like medical reviewers or whatever? Then maybe you need to do that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, and if you are doing that kind of stuff, hiring an author might not be the worst thing either. But also maybe not necessary. All right. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the links below for more info on this topic, as well as other cool stuff like SEO case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks, and happy ranking.